Fistful of Vengeance. This is a full-length spin-off of Wu Assassin. So Wu Assassin is a one-season series on Netflix that stars Uwais. So this is a full-length spin-off. So the story is supposed to be about revenge. So Iko's friend, Kaijin, that's Iko's character, his friend Tommy, Tommy's sister died in Wu Assassin. Now they're seeking revenge. So they heard that the person that killed his sister is in Bangkok. So Iko, Kaijin, and Tommy and their other friend Lou went to Bangkok to seek revenge. Unfortunately, they learned that the person that killed his sister is actually also the ultimate evil and is out to dominate the world and spread evilness in the world. And so they're out to try and end that and save the entire world. Now, good parts first. The best part is Uwais. So the best part of the entire thing is really Uwais. It's he made all the difference, and it's just a pleasure to see Iko grow from an action star to actually being an actor. In this movie, you can see how even his eyes talk, even his body movement would communicate a subliminal message, another layer that would reveal another layer of the message in the story and the character. There was one scene when he was talking to the uncle of a friend of theirs, and the uncle said that you're not here to try and come up with a plan. You're here to try and leave your friends behind in an attempt to protect them. And there was just this dawn of there was just this certain amount of relief and fear that you can see in Iko's eyes and his face and his body. His body, you know, the way that his shoulders slumped ever so slightly would reveal that he was just relieved somebody else actually knew what he was planning. But also there was this fear that he was caught and that he won't be able to execute his plans. There was another instance in the beginning when they learned about who they were fighting against, when there was just a certain amount of confusion. There was all sorts of emotions going on in his head, and you can feel how he's confused and getting enlightened and in disbelief all at the same time when this person they're talking to is revealing the identity and the actual objective of the person that they're supposed to fight. And it was an absolute pleasure to see that transformation of Iko as an actor. And there was another a very intimate moment he had with Tommy, Lawrence Cao, and they were in the pool and they were talking. And Lawrence is actually a good one as well, a good actor and a good element in this movie. So they were talking in the pool, and you can see there was a resignation in Iko's eyes when he didn't want his friends to come along in his mission, but they were insisting that they would. And Iko was just on this state of resignation, but also he was clinging to a sliver of hope that they won't. And so he was trying to arm Lawrence Cao or Tommy with something to try and give him a fighting chance in surviving this mission. So he was clinging to that hope that maybe he won't come, but I know that he would, so probably I should just do something about it, just arm him with something so he has a fighting chance. So that he is the best part in this. Next is Lawrence Cao. Unfortunately, he didn't have a lot of chance to display his acting, but in the few scenes that he actually did have a moment, he was actually able to deliver something better than he did in Wu Assassin. I just didn't feel that connection between him and his sister in Wu Assassin. But in here, I felt the anguish in him. So that he is another good part in this movie. Outside of those two, there's nothing else. There's nothing else good in this movie. So first is, let's go to the actual development of the characters. I think in Wu Assassin, I've mentioned this before, for you to feel for the characters when they get separated or when something bad happens to one of them, you need to disconnect. So you connect the characters and then you disconnect. When you connect is when the audience feel what's at stake. When I know just how strong the bond is between those people, when I know how good they are together, when I know what's at stake and what the history of their relationship, then I become a fan. I sympathize and I empathize with that character. So when something bad happens, then I feel heartbroken. His only connection is those two boys. So I would have wanted to see how these two boys actually affected the life of Iko, or in this, or of Iko in his life. How did they change it for the better? How did they make a difference in his life? I did not see that. Next is that things are rushed. I feel like things are being said rather than shown. When, for example, one good example would be Priya, one of the female characters. She knew Jenny, which is Tommy's sister, the one who died, and she decided to help them in their mission because of of Jenny. Priya decided to help the three boys because of Jenny. But I did not, for you to lay your life on the line for somebody who died. What is it that made you feel so strongly about this person? Why are you helping them for her? Why are you avenging her death? What is it what is the connection you had with her that made you decide you will put your life on the line for her this time? Did not see that. The what's at stake. So in the movie, for it to have a conflict, there's something that's at stake, something that you're bound to lose, whether it's your life, your freedom, whatever it is, there should be at stake. It was just not compelling. They just told me that the world could end and people could just be bad, but I did not see. So how will that change things for me? It's a general concept, but it's not specific. It's too big of a concept for me to have to sympathize and empathize with it. You need to bring it down to a level where I, as an audience, would sympathize with it. Did not see that. In Marvel movies, they would usually show that by actually showing relationships, specific relationships of random people, of specific characters that are in the story. In here, it was said that the world could end, but that's how I felt like, okay, the world's gonna end. So, but you need to show specific relationships. What is it that could be lost if the world ends? Okay, the time bomb is not clear. So, in every movie there's a time bomb. So there's in a romantic comedy, either the guy is leaving or the girl is getting married to somebody, and if you don't tell her how you feel in time, then she could end up with somebody else. Or he's leaving, if you don't tell him how you feel, then he will probably be halfway across the world and will probably meet somebody there and you will lose him forever. So there's a time bomb. In here, they just said that she's going global and that she's going to dominate the world. But when? Tomorrow? In the next 2 weeks? In the next year? There is no time bomb. Next is that there are a lot of things that didn't have a payoff. In the beginning, there was a butterfly knife that Uwais actually, I have a play butterfly knife here somewhere. But anyway, Iko actually gave his friend a butterfly knife and taught him how to use it. But it did not like in the end, what did that butterfly knife did? It should have made a significant difference in the movie for it to have a payoff. So in the movie, there's a setup and then there's a payoff. Next is the characterizations. It's part acting. I feel like they didn't have a lot of time to do a workshop to actually give the characters a good view of who their characters are, because they did not portray it well. Priya was supposed to be this street smart foreigner living in Bangkok, but I did not feel that she was street smart. She had a certain spunk, but I don't see her being street smart. I did not see how her knowledge of the street actually played a part and made a difference in the fighting, in fulfilling their missions. Yeah, and then there's the production as well. There were a lot of problems in the production. There were no, it's just even the voice levels are different. So there's this thing when the it sounds artificial because there's no background noise, environmental noise. Like for when you're walking, when the scene is outdoors, for them to put the audience in that situation, you need some sort of environmental noise. So you mix it so that there's that environmental noise, but you still hear the audio, the people, the characters, the actors talking. Are supposed to be some levels in that, but in here they were outside and there was total silence, and so it sounds so artificial. And then also when the camera zooms out, the audio level should be lower, right? Because from the point of view of the person that's looking at the scene, you're far away from them, and so the voice level should be lower. But here they zoomed out and it's still the same. The voice, the audio is still the same level. Last but not the least is the action sequences. I don't think that Iko actually choreographed this movie, and because it's just so different from his style. And it's not that he's stuck to a single style, it's just this is not how he would do action sequences. It was either choreographed really bad or edited real bad, because it just didn't have the same spunk, not the same style, not the same uniqueness as Iko would want. Iko would make sure to put in every movie that he's into. So would I recommend Fistful of Vengeance? I would recommend it just because it's Iko. I'm very biased towards Iko. I just wanted to support him. But if you take out Iko in that movie, I would not recommend it. But you know, it's Iko. Go watch it.